what to do before you cut calories, or I just kind of hate that. Like, we do not diet, we change your life, right? Okay. And so please don't do any of that. Instead, let's just do things completely differently and in an evidence-based manner. Okay. So before we get started, we need to know what is going on, right? And so facts matter, data matters. And to that end, at least in an intake appointment, I'm usually taking a history about, hey, when did we start gaining weight? Have you ever lost before? Is anything successful? All that kind of stuff. We already talked about that. So, and when we get to, hey, we're gonna kind of begin this, usually I have some information in terms of are we or are we not insulin resistant. But if you're starting on your own, let's just start with kind of some bare basics. What is super evidence supported that you can get started on your own? And that would be chiefly to step on a scale. Okay, so I don't like this either. And please understand, I spent the overwhelming majority of my life, incredibly overweight, well over 150 pounds. Okay. And so, I get it. And I will tell you that when I was kind of at rock bottom and decided to go to my first obesity medicine course, the data was really irrefutable in terms of, hey, like losing this is one thing, maintaining is another. And oh, by the way, the most important skill for both of these issues is surveillance weighing. Okay. And we talked a little bit about metabolic adaptation before. Okay, that means that if I have metabolic adaptation, my basal metabolic rate might be so low that I can really turn around and gain like that. So we don't ever take our eyes off the prize. We don't ever stop looking, okay? And we don't ever quit, right? I always say the only way you lose is if you quit. So we don't. And so, to that end, I would argue a few things in terms of weighing, and I know there's a lot of noise about this in the social media space. And so I always tell patients there's probably going to be 3 or 4 reasons behind everything I ever ask you to do. Number 1 will be, this is what the evidence says will work, okay? But yes, all the evidence says that, there's a linear correlation between how often we weigh and how successful we are at losing. I understand that there is often intense pain and shame regarding this. When I came back, I remember like literally almost being in tears before, getting on the scale. And I know, like I said that out loud, like, this is not a comment on my self-worth as a human being. This is just where I am today. So I think little things that we say and repeat to ourselves can sometimes be helpful, but you do it. And, the evidence says, hey, if you want to lose 3% of your body weight, this was published in November of 23, generally you can weigh about once a week. So if you can multiply your weight by 0.03 and you are happy with losing only that amount, that is a good choice to weigh once a week. If you would like to lose 10% of your body weight, so take your weight and multiply by 0.1. If that's all you want to lose, great. You should be weighing 66% of the time, 2 out of every 3 days. If you want more than that, then more than that, okay? So here are my following justifications for why we start with this. Number 1, attitude in everything. The attitude with which you get on that scale is huge. This is not, oh my gosh, my self-worth is a female in our society. No. Also, please review the idiotic society that has told you that any amount of your self-worth is dependent on your appearance is also telling you not to look at the scale. It's literally the definition of insanity. How are we going to change this if we don't know what it is? So, number 1, supported by the evidence. 2, I would argue that there is value in desensitization, right? That I learn over time. This is actually not a traumatic thing. This is a piece of data that I need to know if I need to change our plan together. And as the often treating physician, I'm like, hey, I'm not at your house. I don't know what's going on. So I need you to do this so that you can complain to me so that we can change your treatment plan together. And so knowing like where that is going is super important. And I would argue, getting that back, like reclaiming that, this is a piece of data, and it is okay for me as a female in our society to know actually what's going on with my body. Yes, thank you. I think I will accept what my weight is and learn to love myself no matter what, because it's just where it is today, and it is something that we can change. And on the back end, if we are going to maintain what we do together, we have to keep our eye on the prize to some extent. So start saving all of this and a little bit more on this later.